I'm quite curious. Have you had, um, because you've been working with these mines, you said 30 or 35 years, which is unique. So this is a setup here that I don't get to ask this very much because so many of the companies are newer that are coming on with the technology and the sensors.
Yeah.
Uh, so have you, and I know you probably can't give really specific examples, but have you seen examples of the mine's been doing it this way for 25, 30 years, and then 5 years ago started putting in these sensors and seeing that optimization, seeing actual production changes, the way that what you're supplying changes, whatever goes into that.
Yeah.
Eh, Have you actually seen it?
Absolutely. So what Molycop has done is that they've actually acquired a number of technology companies, including one that
I
I've
see.
been associated with. So it did mean that Molycop could ramp up this offering very quickly.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So, for example, there's many examples in case studies, but one that comes to mind is we've got a client in Africa that's a company called Resolute, and they've got a one of their mines called Mako, and they implemented the full solution of what we supply, which is the mill slicer, mill vibration measurements, as well as the advanced control and the consulting and coaching. Within 3 months, they published on the Australian Stock Exchange that we helped them to improve their throughput by 7%. 3 months of the initial implementation, that is. And then, without any prompt from us, and obviously they're telling their shareholders, so it must be it must be something that actually reflected in the end of the day on their accounts, because this comes from the accounts and the corporate side. It's not just on the mine. But what's also interesting is approximately 1 year later, they did another or exactly 1 year later, they did another publication on the ASX, on the Australian Stock Exchange, where they said that through the implementation and the use of these measurements and control systems, they were able to reduce their plant shutdowns for the year by 25%. Now, that means they went from,
25%.
yeah, so they probably
Okay.
went from, let's say, 4 shutdowns down to 3 shutdowns. So if you were if you understood what's happening on a mine, everything is planned around shutdowns. I mean, how long your liners last actually dictates when your next shutdown is. And typically, a mine would spend like in the order of $10 to $20 million on a shutdown. So the fact that we were able to help them operate their mill in such a way that they did less damage to their liners while still increasing the throughput was a really big benefit for them. So, I think that is a really good example of how clients have actually used these optimization strategies.